Good evening. I am often asked what I think the best evidence caught on film for Bigfoot, because that seems to be, other than maybe having a body, seeing one physically, is the next best thing we have, is capturing these subjects on film. And it is incredibly hard, and as we discussed on this channel before, there seems to be powers that be that don't let really good evidence get out in the public. But people ask me what are some readily available films and pictures of what I think are real Bigfoots. And there are some various reasons for why I think they're real, but these are just ones that have always stuck out to me. Some of them you've probably seen. You've probably seen all of these if you're a hardcore Sasquatch person. But we'll start with the Paul Freeman film. This is from 1994. Paul Freeman, he filmed one. And this is a cut down, highly stabilized, pretty much the good part of the video. You can go online and YouTube. Bigfoot Tony, he did a really great breakdown of this. You can go to his channel and find it. But here's the good part. You kind of see this creature loping along, doing its thing. In the video, I have the sound cut out, but he says, there he goes, and you can see this Sasquatch. It's very, somewhere human, somewhat ape-like behavior. It doesn't look like a costume. If you know the backstory behind this, he's in a pretty remote area. The way the shadows look, 94 was before anybody at home could do CGI. And just the way that it walks and has kind of like a weird gait, almost like it's screwing around. He's not too close. You think he was going to hoax it, he would, you know, maybe do it a little bit stiller. So it has all the ringings of a film that is definitely genuine, and there's a lot of good breakdowns on it. I used to go check out the Paul Freeman Bigfoot video. The next one needs no introduction. It's the Patterson-Gimlin film. This is by researcher M.K. Davis, one of the greats in this field. He did such a great job of stabilizing this, breaking it down, so you could really see the muscle movement, you could really see the gait. He does a little back and forth, zooming in, and even though this is 1967 on a hand crank camera in the middle of the woods, the quality is actually surprisingly good. You can see muscle definition. There's no suit at the time. Look at the backside on this creature. That's a real creature that walks powerfully, and this is absolutely one of my favorites. The third piece is the Myakka Skunk Ape photos. This is really interesting. This was a lady in Florida, I believe from like 2001. This thing was coming in her backyard and eating her fruit, and she said it was about 7 feet tall, and it kept coming around. And one night she got sick of it, so she went out there and was kind of shooing away and snapped these pictures. Now, what's very interesting about this is most people report Sasquatches, Bigfoots, as looking like a big overgrown human, or very gorilla-like in appearance. Some people say they look more chimpanzee-like. These photos, I believe she took 2 photos. There's different versions of them you're seeing on here. She described it, they definitely look something very chimpanzee-like, but when you see the bigger photos, the more spread out they are, you realize the arms are way too long. And chimpanzees, even a full-grown male, they can be heavy and fairly wide, but they're short. Even standing up, they come up to like the waist on an average human. They are relatively small compared to gorillas and even larger chimpanzees. And this thing, the arm length, the way that the size of those palmettos, have you ever seen those palmetto plant leaves? They get huge. And it seems to have one in its teeth in this moment, like it's smiling. And in the ape world, the great ape species, smiling is a threat or a scared. We smile as a sign of friendliness. To them, it's teeth. I'm scary. Don't go towards me. Or as in a defensive posture. So I think this thing was definitely surprised to have this old lady come out and start snapping pictures of it. And she wrote this letter saying this thing was coming around. You guys need to do with it. And I believe she sent it to the sheriff's department. This is a really good photo of why it is not an orangutan. Look how big that body is. Look how long those legs are. Those arms are. They go all the way to the ground. Once again, Bigfoot Tony, Bob Gimlin, the greats in the YouTube world, people better than me to be quite honest, have all done really technical breakdowns. I suggest you go look at Bob Gimlin, Gimlin with a Y, and Bigfoot Tony. Some of those other guys, all these purported stuff, those guys break down and do a great job. And this has always been one of my favorites because it's really pretty modern camera, clear flash. You can see the eye shine in it, which most great apes don't have eye shine. It shows that they're really good at nocturnal. a suit, you know, there's a lot of gray in there, like it's an older creature that's been that's been aged. You can see kind of some of the rattiness to it, the surprised look on its face. It looks like it's almost like got like a palm frond, like covering its nose, like it's eating it or something. I don't know. It's just very creepy photos and haunting, and these are just absolutely some of my favorite. So if anybody ever asks me if there are some good evidence, and there's more than this out there, you guys can look around. The white-faced Bigfoot is a good one. There's some ones where they're out camping on a hillside. There's some pretty dang convincing ones. These are just my top 3 most readily available. And thank you very much for watching it, because people often ask me this question. This is my response. These are my top 3. If you guys like what you see, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps us out. And also subscribe if you haven't already. We got new stuff coming out every week. Stay safe in the woods, folks.